On Sunday morning, November 15th, as part of our annual member meeting, B.F. Hicks took us on a tour of his Daphne Prairie Preserve. We met at the gate and caravanned in. B.F. Hicks likes to talk about the local history. His Daphne Prairie is a 922-acre remnant of the 10,000-acre Hughes Ranch that was first settled in 1840. There are still descendants who hold portions of this land today, including B.F. Hicks. His great-grandparents, Green Hughes and wife Melody, were married here in 1881. They built their home here and ran a successful ranch, all while supporting their local community. On the first stop, the group looked at a stand of Sylvius dropseed grass. This is an indicator species for this prairie type. More than 350 species of grasses and wildflowers can be found on this Sylvius dropseed prairie. It's a globally endangered ecosystem, of which 0.1% remains. Sylvius dropseed prairies are found in the northern and eastern edges of the Blackland Prairie. They have a different soil makeup, which creates a different type of plant community. The dominant grasses are Sylvius dropseed, long-spiked tridents, and Florida paspalum. When you first arrive at Daphne Prairie, you'll see a pasture with several bumps. Those are the Mima mounds that are so dominant on this landscape. One of BF's recent adventures involves this stand of grass that looks a little bit like pampas grass. He was wondering what it was and maybe he should get rid of it. But a botanist came to visit and said that's sugarcane plume grass, which is a native grass. It just looks a little bit like pampas grass. When you travel through Daphne Prairie, you get the sense of what it was like when the first European settlers came to this area. It is an ocean of grass, but it is just a snapshot of what used to be here. Daphne also has bottomland forest. There are some large post oaks on the preserve, and some of them are quite grand. We like to stop at one particular tree that stands out in the open and take time for a tree hug. It's also one way to measure the circumference. These trees are probably around 300, 400 years old. One of the last stops was at one of the many ponds at Daphne. These are located in the restored areas of the preserve, in once overgrazed pastures and eroded ditches. Now they're thick with grasses and forbs. They attract wildlife like ducks and other birds, amphibians, and other native animals that come to the water. Just like other prairies, Daphne changes throughout the seasons. In the fall, the grasses dominate. They're in bloom, so take a closer look. The prairie is a rich tapestry of color, even on a rainy September day. On an October trip to Daphne, you may get to see how big the big bluestem really is. The grasses have turned a copper color and the fall asters are in bloom. Thanks to BF and John Hicks, Daphne Prairie is protected in perpetuity by a conservation easement held by the Native Prairies Association of Texas. Grassland birds, insects, pollinators, and other wildlife, along with future generations, will benefit from this preserved and rare habitat. We hope you will have an opportunity to visit one day.